Welcome everyone to this week's edition of Where is Your Stop? This is Hawking Alpha, and it is December 17th, 2014. And not being lazy, but we're coming back to oil. Had a lot of questions this week on essentially what has happened to what we're doing with oil since the continued move. So last time we had talked, oil had just gapped down to that 26 mark in terms of USO as a representation. And so what we saw a continued about 20% decline even further from there. Now, a lot of guys were saying, oh, well, we broke through, these lows, wouldn't be surprised to have, an undercut low and a comeback and all that kind of jazz. And this is why you continue to let trends run and give them the room to essentially breathe. So when we first started out that trade, very much outside of the noise right here, and we just have very succinctly moved down our trailing stop based upon what's happening in terms of price, volatility, and volume. And what we have seen is that is unique as we zoom in on this picture is that the moves from here were essentially smooth and gradual. They were continually, there were stops that were being moved every day down. This is just a representation. All of a sudden, this though was an actual just straight two jump. And so you really kind of saw this increase in volatility continue to keep the stop wide, but the massive move in such a short amount of time caused our stop to move up very rapidly in a very succinct fashion. So, the interesting part is, as always, we're essentially outside of this kind of gap noise. You could easily see oil, come back and fill here and fill here and fill here. If it doesn't and it just gets quiet, the key is that we're going to be moving down that stop as volatility comes down, and we're going to be playing that game of catch up and further locking in more of those profits if oil decides to turn. If it doesn't, it can continue to go lower, and this is one of those times where you just don't know. You don't know if it's geopolitics. You don't know if it's global supply and demand. You really don't know, and so all you can do is you can let the market figure it out, and we're going to give it the ample room to run, and then, as Keynes said, when the facts change, we change. So as always, hit us out with any questions that you might have. This is obviously causing a little bit of scare in terms of Russia. This is causing a little bit of scare in terms of the market right now. And so, any questions that you would have, don't hesitate to reach out, and we look forward to talking with you next week and covering a different subject this time. All right, to staying outside the noise and beating random.